Push Nelo off me like, ugh. Push the Nelo fan, I'm like, ugh. Canelo Alvarez to decide if he's going to duck Dmitry Bivol. That's what I want to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Wow. Canelo Alvarez still has the face of boxing on his Instagram. Now he has to face the music and face reality with a recent loss, second official loss, even though I think he should have others, and that's against Dmitry Bivol. Now, you heard the clip at the beginning. Ironically enough, the Canelo man fans, the Chupapi Muñeños, they've been having a very difficult time embracing this loss for Canelo. It's like a bad dream, and they're waking up from it. And then they find out it wasn't a dream at all. It was reality. Dmitry Bivol did that. Dmitry Bivol boxed well. Jab was on point. Used some footwork. Push Nelo on me like, ugh. And he got busy. Credit to him. However, now Canelo is faced with the decision. Now, it's funny to hear Eddie Hearn even talk on this because, one, you know you're not going to get an actual non-biased depiction. He keeps saying things like, oh, me and Canelo, we worked together for a while and we're good friends and I'm on Canelo's team. So I don't look for Eddie Hearn to give any type of comments on Canelo that are non-biased and aka keep it real. That's why you guys subscribe to my channel. In the last 30 days, I looked at my YouTube analytics and it showed me something. The last 30 days, 50% of the people that watch my content subscribed. The other 50% did not. Let me know what I could do to earn your subscription. I release content daily, boxing lives, boxing news. This is your all access. Access has now been granted. So make sure you consider subscribing. It goes a long way, really, to further the reach so other people are aware of the content and the message gets out. So appreciate you guys for subscribing. Let's continue. So Canelo Alvarez and Eddie Hearn, this whole duo, it's really gone wrong because Canelo really should have taken a deal with, in my opinion, PBC and Showtime. And he chose to forego that deal and didn't end up taking the PBC deal, only to lose, to do horrible ratings. Leonard Ellerby came out and said he knows the true numbers and it did around 300,000. This has to be a massive failure for Canelo Alvarez. And the reason why all these different numbers that have come out seem to be accurate is because we know Eddie Hearn's. And if Canelo, before the fight, Eddie Hearn was boasting and saying that Canelo could be the greatest fighter of all time and all this goofy stuff. And that was very short-lived because that Saturday he would lose. So he was saying Canelo's the greatest fighter and, you know, he makes an argument, and Mexico best fighter ever. Even though you've seen Julio Cesar Chavez, Benito Lopez, Salvador Sanchez, Eric Morales, Marco Antonio Barrera, you know, you've had all these other great fighters, but Eddie Hearn was pitching this notion that it was Canelo who superseded all of them. And then he loses right after. And he's saying he's the face of boxing and number one or star and stuff. So you would expect completely different numbers than, you know, what Charlo and Gervonta Davis and Errol Spence have produced if this is in fact true. But it doesn't look to be the case. So, you know, Canelo's in a very difficult place. But I'm glad because I like to see true character revealed. And for once, Canelo is at some type of deficit where some fans have lost faith in his ability. Some people do not believe he can beat Bivol. So we're going to see what Canelo's made of if he decides to duck Dmitry Bivol or if he decides to go ahead and fight him. But for the first time in a while, all this no boxing, no life, all that's going to be put to the test. No boxing, no life, huh? Take the rematch. Now, Eddie Hearn, at the beginning of the clip that I played, he said that Canelo, you know, he's a man's man, and Canelo, he'll probably want the rematch and he won't want any excuses. But if you pay attention to what he said also that Canelo Alvarez, the ball's in his court. He also said up to him and Eddie Reynoso on what they decide, and that's going to show if they want. So basically, he already put everything in motion, and he's telling you, if Canelo doesn't take the rematch, it was a decision that he made. He said he's the promoter, so he presents the options to a guy like Canelo Alvarez, and then Canelo decides from there what it's going to be and what it's not going to be. So if the Bivol fight doesn't happen, then it is Canelo's fault and his team's fault. The other thing that puts Canelo in a pinch and makes no sense is you listen to the dialogue from Eddie Hearn. He keeps saying, oh, Canelo did all this, dared to be great. He wants to take obscene challenges because he was so proven at middleweight and super middleweight, even though that's not the case because he never fought Demetrius Andrade. He never fought Jermell Charlo, and he never fought David Benavidez, who I believe are easily better than anyone that he's really fought, and stylistically has the ability to, and I'm talking about in those divisions, I'm not talking about career-wise, but I'm saying that middleweight and super middleweight, those guys have the most complexities for Canelo's style. And I've been saying this for a while, and he stayed away from a while, you know what I'm saying? And to this day, as of me recording this video, he hasn't fought him. But Eddie Hearn keeps making these excuses and suggesting that, you know, Canelo has to dare to be great and do all this extra stuff in order to find a challenge, which is inaccurate. It's a misrepresentation of the facts. David Benavidez was at 168. You were undisputed. He had the belts before you, or at least the WBC belt. Give him a crack at it. And then you would have been defending the title, and then we wouldn't have to hear these piddly weight excuses because you would be at your comfortable weight. Eddie Hearn keeps saying, oh, Canelo's true weight is 168. Nobody told him to move up. That was his decision. Nobody told him to do anything that he's done in his recent career, right? We're far removed from that Canelo where he's not in the driver's seat and he doesn't know it. You know what I'm saying? Last time that happened, maybe the Miguel Cotto fight, he wasn't the A side, or, you know, wasn't all the way the A side, things like that. But we've been far removed from that. So no one told Canelo, I have no sympathy, no empathy. This is boxing. Most guys don't get to pick their fights in general and, you know, select guys and get guys, like, scope out how they look and, you know, stay away from certain fighters and styles. And I mean, most people don't have that. So Canelo's not special. He doesn't get special treatment. He's done good things for his career. He's a hell of a fighter. I give him that. I give him the same respect that I give any fighter, right? And with all these weight excuses from the Canelo Chupapi Muñeños and Eddie Hearn saying, oh, he had to stretch himself and he knows now this is not his true calling and light heavyweight is not his real division. Eddie Hearn says something very imperative and important that you pay attention to. He says Canelo might not want to fight Dmitry Bivol at 168 after he was just talking about Dmitry Bivol moving down to 168 because Bivol said he if the business is right, basically, he'd be willing to go down to super middleweight to take Canelo's belt. So why would, if you just made all these excuses for Canelo Alvarez and said it's wait, it's in me got that wait. You said all the reason he lost had something to do with weight and obscene challenges and this, that, and the third. So why would he say that Canelo, and here's the post, maybe the next fight will be for his belts at super middleweight. So Dmitry Bivol, shout out to him. He's about that action. We don't know if Canelo is. All this no boxing, no life and face of boxing, all that is now on full display and will be tested. So if Dmitry Bivol said he'll come see you where you're a champion, why would Eddie Hearn, the promoter who says he works closely with Canelo, why would he be saying that Canelo might not want the Bivol fight at 168, but he just said he has to exhaust himself and eat his way up to 175 and take obscene challenges, and he's not a true 175 pounder? That makes no sense. You would think that if weight was truly the excuse and the reason he lost, that he would want to fight at his more natural weight. That's what you're saying, is his more natural weight. But instead, you literally heard Eddie Hearn say he doesn't think, 168 would get approved by Canelo. And then he changed the subject and didn't elaborate on it. But he already told on himself, whether it was a Freudian slip or whatever. I know why Canelo wouldn't want to fight, because he didn't lose because of the 175. Canelo wouldn't want to fight at 168 because him and his fans, his man fans, have zero excuse if Canelo gets beat at 168. So if Canelo gets beat at 168, I'm not going to say he's done, but for lack of a better word, he's done. The whole imagery of who Canelo is, look, whoever this dude crying is, that's going to be the Canelo man fans. People are already making these memes and stuff. Look, bro, look, this face all mushed up, smashed up. You know what I mean? And that was just off the first fight. So if you fought Canelo, if Canelo fought him again and took it to the division where he hasn't been beaten at super middleweight and he's undisputed, you literally have no excuse why you lost. Because right now, the Canelo fans, they caping for him and they copping pleas. They're like, nah, Canelo wasn't big enough. He dared to be great and all that. So if he fought and you said he had a great campaign and a great run at super middleweight, and if Bivol beats him at super middleweight, all that other stuff is dead and out the window. You can't say, oh, it's because Dmitry Bivol used his weight advantage. And that's a dumb excuse anyway. Anybody who knows boxing, because the way Bivol beat him, he didn't fight him like Tyson Fury versus Wilder and gain 30, 40, 60 pounds and lean all on him like Tyson Fury did with Otto Wallin, or Vladimir Klitschko, 6'6", would do to smaller heavyweights like Alexander Povetkin and guys like Kubrat Pulev. That's a whole completely different style. Bivol didn't use his weight, he used his skills. And that's probably why Canelo, he got beat up. He lost dominantly. It wasn't even close. And it's funny because you still have people arguing Canelo's pound for pound number one. How do you, so why do we even have rankings if no matter how you look in fight, you have a performance such as Canelo where the whole world knows you lost double digit rounds, 10, 11, 12, double digit, something in the double digits, right? And you still get to be considered that. That's like Steph Curry is like considered the greatest shooter in NBA history. If this season he missed 1,000,000 shots, then how are we going to say he's the greatest shooter? Part of being elite is showing up. And that's it. And having consistency. That's what makes me great. I'm consistent. Since I started, I've been consistent. I've never had a break from covering boxing. Never. If you look at, there's been times I've been hurt, sick, pneumonia, breakups, makeups, tired, burnt out. I'm consistent. Y'all don't know none of that. I just deal with it because I'm an animal. I'm animalistic. So that's part of the heavy is the head that holds the crown or wears the crown, right? They said he's the face of boxing. You got to show up and perform. You had all this undisputed and all this stuff. Man, Canelo's in a difficult spot, y'all. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Subscribe. And I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description, customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.